It's been 9 months since we left home. 6 months since we've been in Mexico, so that means our visas have expired. So what better way to take care of that than to come home and visit? So we spent a couple weeks visiting our kids, our friends, and our family that live here. And now we're gonna take you on a little tour of our area that we grew up, a place we call home. Welcome to Camas, Utah, gateway to the Uintas. Mackenzie learned how to drive in this Jeep. We like classics. 1978 boat, 1952 pickup. What's this, 1980?
No.
CJ5? They run. Gateway to the Uintas, beautiful area, but the one bad thing are the bugs, mosquitoes, horseflies. They will eat you alive. So sorry that I'm like moving around. You can only take so much before you can't stand it anymore. Anyway, Sam and I grew up in Camas, a little tiny town in Utah, about 5,000 people. High school sweethearts, got married right out of high school and quickly started having children, because what else do you do when you're that age? I don't know. Anyway, we worked and worked and worked and always thought about our retirement. But as life goes on and life experiences happen, you realize that you only have one life and you don't know how long you have to live it. And why work yourself away for a future that you may not ever have? So we downsized quite dramatically. Kids graduated high school. One went off to college, and Mom and Dad said, "See you later." Hey guys, today we're going to answer our top 10 questions we're asked by our non-sailing friends about cruising. Top 10 countdown. Question number 10. Are you afraid of pirates? Did you see any? We did not see any pirates. We have ran into the most amazing people. Friendly, hospitable, and just fantastic. We have only come down the Pacific side and into the Baja, but man, if the rest of the world is like this, we're pretty lucky. Question number 9. How cold was it? We had this idea that we were leaving Camas, the coldest place in the world, I swear. It's not, but it feels like it. And going south. It's gonna be hot, right? Our coldest day was in San Diego the morning we left to head for Mexico. 32 degrees. We sat there looking over the Dodger and ducking behind it, trying to stay warm for hours. Crossed the Mexico line, and then from, oh, I don't know, clear down to Magdalena Bay, almost Cabo. Before it started to warm up, we were still wearing beanies in the evening and hoodies in the evening. Yeah, it kind of took us by surprise a little bit that it was still kind of chilly during winter time. Go figure.
Question number 8. What do you wish you'd have done different to the boat? Well, after sailing in all that fog down the west coast, we wish we'd have done radar. There were moments we were sailing in fog so thick that we could see 100 yards at the most, and all we could do is hear boats buzzing around us. We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us. Hopefully they had radar so they could see us. We didn't really have any really close calls, but it would have been really beneficial to have radar. I think we will probably install radar before we head to the South Pacific.
Question number 7. How far off land did we get? Well, looking back at our charts, it looks like going from the mainland over to Cedros Island and Asunción to Magdalena Bay. Those 2 sails took us around 40 to 50 miles offshore. The rest of the time we were 5-10 miles off. Most of the time we could see land out in the distance, at least on that left-hand side.
Question number 6. Is our boat big enough? Is Hiraya a big enough boat for 2 people to cruise on comfortably? Our answer is yes. Our boat is a 1978 Tartan 34C. It has a beam of 10 feet. We do believe it is big enough for 2 people. It is on the smaller size, and I only say it's on the smaller size because of the year. We met a couple on a 35-foot Tartan, but it was a 2000. The cockpit was a little bit smaller, but the inside was huge. I think it had a 12-foot beam or so. Made a huge difference inside the boat. So I'm not so sure the length of the boat really matters as much as the design and the way the galley and stuff is set up. That being said, I think up to 40 feet would be very comfortable. Anything in the 40-foot range would be a pretty comfortable cruiser for 2 people.
So, question number 5. What do you eat? Well, we eat food. And no, it's not all fish. We're able to stop at little stores along the way, and then big provisionings in the cities keep us well stocked. We can keep about 6 months worth of food on our boat without even trying. We're not very picky, so we can get food, and we have menus that we make, and everything's fine. Sometimes we get a little craving for something that we may not find there, like maybe pickles or Colby Jack cheese, red raspberry preserves. Those are probably our top 3 things that we're not able to find in Mexico, or at least where we're at, that we were really happy to have when we came home.
All right, question number 4. What has broke on the boat? We've had 4 things break on the boat. One of them was our centerboard mechanism, came detached inside the boat one night. And so we cannot operate our centerboard, which is not a big deal, but I pulled it up with the lever, lashed it up with the rope so it is up, but it won't go down. The other item that broke, and it's not really a broke, it's just kind of a maintenance thing. One of the foils on the furler, the screw was coming undone up high, about halfway up the forestay. I had to climb up there and tighten that thing back up. The third thing that broke was obviously the exhaust that we've been having problems with, which we're pretty certain has been fixed professionally. Hopefully, we'll find out in a couple more months. And the last thing that I can remember that was a problem, we were sailing downwind one night, early evening, and all of a sudden the pin that holds the main sheet to the boom came unhooked. The boom went flying out downwind. I heard this pink, pink, and I was like, crap, what just happened? But I was lucky enough, the parts were still on the deck. I was able to just put all that back together, put another little twist on the locking tab, put some Loctite on it so it won't come off again. Other than that, the boat has been doing pretty good. A few minor things here and there, but nothing major. The third most asked question that we get is, how has the weather been? What is the worst storm you've been in while sailing? The worst sail we had was from Magdalena Bay to Cabo San Lucas. It was about a 48-hour sail or so. We left in very calm conditions. Then by that evening, maybe it was the night after that, I'm not quite sure, I can't quite remember. The weather turned. We had 10 to 12 foot swells coming from the northwest with 20 to 25 knot winds, gusting every now and then a little bit higher. And then to make that worse, 4 or 5 hours into the night, we were trying to sleep. The wind shifted 90 degrees and was now blowing from the northeast at about 20 knots. And a few hours later, we were getting hit by 6 foot wind waves coming off our beam. So we would sail down the wave from the swell, we get to the bottom of the trough, and we'd get slammed to the side by a 6 foot wave. It was actually very miserable. Tried to sleep, crap fell out of the cupboard, hit me in the head. It was the absolutely worst night of our entire trip. I mean, there were moments I was thinking, I saved up money to do this. I'm paying to do this. I wanted to do this. Was not always awesome. Other than that, that's probably been our worst weather. And to put that in a little bit of perspective, coming down the west coast, it pretty much always had a 6-foot swell with a 15-knot wind. That was pretty much baseline zero for us. That was what was always forecasted, and that's usually what was there.
So our second most asked question was if we had ever been genuinely scared or terrified. And honestly, no. I thought that me personally, would be really scared at some points. It was just doing something I've never done before, but no, we plan accordingly. No, we plan everything out. We've been a little bit of luck. We haven't run into anything terrible. The research and the practice that we've done before really helped. So no, I've definitely been in places that I didn't like, but not terrified. So good to be home.
And the number one asked question is, how do you spend that much time with your spouse? Well, it's hard sometimes, you know, to be honest. There are days we want to just bicker and fight and argue and want to get away from each other, and you can't. So it's kind of rough. There are days I think we're going to be divorced within a month, so.
Oh, within a month? Sometimes it's that day.
Right. So it's definitely not always Skittles and unicorns around here. We are living on a very small boat, limited space, and you do get in each other's face every now and then.
I think it's learning how to live with each other all over again. If you think about it, it's been 25 years of living together, busy working and taking care of kids, and there's always something out there that's distracting you, and now it's just us in this little tiny space. And sometimes it's surprising how hard it is. Other times it's surprising how easy it is. So
it's true. They're definitely,
you just pick your battles, I guess. Sometimes we pick them. I just want to be right.
We've been told by a few other people, other cruisers, that the lows are definitely lower and the highs are definitely higher. And there is a lot of truth to that.
A lot.
I think we've had our lowest lows on this boat, but we've also had our highest highs. So hopefully it all just balances out in the end.
I hope there's a balance. So here we are, back on Hiraya and ready to head north.
We're just sitting here at anchor in this beautiful bay, enjoying the morning. That is probably it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed a tour of our hometown. We did enjoy growing up there, raising our family there. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good memories there.
If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.